Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Norman Kinsey with Real Estate vs. Technology, and we have our co-host, Mr. Dan Gandy. Welcome, Dan.
Hey everybody.
Awesome. And we have a very special guest today. We have Matt. Look at his Instagram over here. So he is in Virginia. He's helping individuals in the Arlington area with real estate services. And his whole thing is he wants to create the best property marketing videos in the world, which is amazing. He has 16,000 plus subs on YouTube. He's doing a great job with what he's doing so far.
Welcome to Real Estate vs. Technology, where you'll get the inside scoop from top producing real estate professionals all around the country, best practices, techniques, and learn about what technology they're using to drive to ensure their success in this world we call real estate.
Thank you for being here with us today.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Norman. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, of course. No worries at all. So to go ahead and start off the show, we have some questions for you. We want to find out and learn a little bit more about you. So we want to deep dive into like what made you get in the business, how long you've been in the business, and give us a little bit of your story.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm located here in Arlington, Virginia, in Northern Virginia, basically right outside of the District of Columbia. Born and raised in Arlington. I don't know anything else. I didn't move up here for a government job. I literally live 5 minutes away from my parents. So I haven't gone too far, so to speak. And I got into real estate in 2013. Graduated college in 2012. Took a sales job, making phone calls. I say boiler room, but it's probably what a lot of agents are doing right now is cold calling, internet leads. I was essentially doing that and helping small businesses with their online marketing, which is ironic because that's exactly what I'm doing to myself now, is I am helping myself with online marketing. So I did that for a year, and spoiler alert, I didn't really enjoy calling people over and over again that didn't want to talk to me. I know that sounds crazy, but I did know that I had to be able to communicate to people over the phone. And I think being put in a situation where unfortunately, it was a job where people would literally get fired over their lunch break just if they didn't hit their numbers. And it shouldn't sound like too coarse, but the reality is, like, if you don't hit your numbers and you're in a sales position, you can't be with the company. So I did enjoy that aspect of, listen, you got to figure it out, or else you're not going to find yourself here. So it was a challenge to me. I mean, a lot of months I was towards the bottom of my team. I was kind of on that relegation line, if you will, for Premiership soccer, where if you're below that, you're not coming back after the weekend. So
yeah,
that for about a year. And how I got into real estate is, well, I just love where I'm from. I love Arlington, Virginia. Like I said, I grew up here. I know almost every single block. I know the people. I know the business owners. I know that this is the area I want to be in for the rest of my life. And wow. It was that passion that drove me to real estate, guys. I don't care about crown molding. Like, I don't know, drywall, plaster, like, it doesn't get me excited. What gets me excited is Arlington, Virginia. And that's how I transferred into the real estate industry. And my first year was 2013 to 2014, and I actually did rentals only. I joined a startup company, and the joke is, people have been asking me, like, hey, where'd you start? And they're like, oh, I've never heard of that brokerage. So I'm like, well, they went out of business because they did rentals only. So they, not a lot of money to be had. I loved it there. I loved everyone there. So it wasn't necessarily a bad fit. And then after about a year of doing rentals from 2013 to halfway through 2014, I kind of just ran into this wall where all my systems were on autopilot. I was getting up, I was doing the same exact thing. I wasn't doing a lot of work, but I was closing a lot of deals. But I kind of had my blinders on, and I was like, what else is there? And obviously, real estate sales was out there. I wanted a comma in some of my commission checks, obviously, and I randomly went to an open house. Met a cool agent. He was kind of looking to bring someone on. I was kind of looking for that next step, and it was literally like the perfect match. In 2014, a week later, we were signing papers, and
wow.
The thing is, I didn't know what Century 21 was. I didn't, whether it was Century 21, EXP, Keller Williams. That didn't matter to me, but I knew that this guy Sean Battle had the right vibe that I was connecting with, and I really liked his energy, how he went about his business. And, you know, in an industry where agents are always jumping from one brokerage to another brokerage, the next, you know, shiny object, you know, the next carrot stick, if you will. That was 2014. That was, you know, we're coming up on our 6-year anniversary. I haven't got him a present yet, but that was 6 years ago. And, you know, I've been with Sean Battle and Century 21 since then.
Wow. That's awesome. That's an amazing story, man. And I love that. I love how you're just staying true to, you know, where you're from and doing what you're doing and serving your community. I mean, that's amazing. That's an awesome story.
So in terms of,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I just had a question in terms of customers, like, what are you doing unique? Like, what are your marketing methods? Can you share a little bit of secret sauce with us on how you're generating clients?
Absolutely. And without a doubt, you know, it's video marketing. So everyone in the area knows me as, like, you know, that agent that does the video marketing. And, you know, when I was just starting out, you probably know where I'm going with this, but I'm doing the videos, and agents in my office are like, well, how do you have time for that? Like, do you see any clients? Why are you doing that? And now, you know, my broker's asking me to teach some of those same agents how to do video marketing. So in terms of what I'm doing differently, everything I'm doing is long-term. So like, I forgot who said it, but like 2020 is already done. Like, everything you've done for the past couple of years is going to result to your 2020 sales. So like, what I'm doing, I'm not worried about my production last year or this year, because everything I've done has led up to this point. I'm more concerned about setting traps, if you will. And what I mean by that is putting out a video, putting in the right keywords that are going to stay on the internet forever. So when sellers and buyers are researching these neighborhoods, guys, I still get inquiries from videos I did 4 years ago of me. I still had a head of hair. I was still living in a bungalow with 3 girls. The house is now torn down. And, you know, the video quality is cringeworthy, to be honest. But because I shared like an ounce of knowledge, people are seeing that, and then they're directly reaching out to me and asking about certain neighborhoods in Arlington.
That's so good.
We coach a lot of agents. We have a lot of agents that are in that transition point from old school marketing into video marketing, and like, hey, how do I get started? What are the tools I need? Like, what's some content I can start with? And I always say, like, niche down, like, be an expert in that area. You have to be an authority. You have to be the person that someone says, hey, when you're in this town, you talk to that guy.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. I don't understand the question, what should I make content about? It's like, well, what neighborhood do you love? Like, it's really easy. Where do you want to do business? Do videos about, you know, that park or that restaurant or that neighborhood, and just, like you said, Dan, just niche down. And I think people get scared of like, well, I don't want to like pigeonhole myself as only being, well, that is going to work in your benefit, because when people are looking for that neighborhood, that's exactly what they're going to find. And, you know, the reality is I'm admittedly losing business in my neighboring county because people don't think of me when they think of, you know, Fairfax VA real estate. And that's a challenge. But at the same time, our image of the consumer perception is always changing. I could literally show you a Facebook post from 2013 where it says, hey guys, I just got my my real estate license. I do rentals only. Like, literally, I can't help you on the sales side. I do rentals only. Please contact me like for free or whatever. But our image is always changing. I think by niching down, that's when the true magic happens.
It's another thing I was going to say is that the marketing positioning, right? Like, the local area niching down, but also knowing who you're talking to, that target market of like, you know, what type of schools are they looking for? What types of houses where are they in their career or their life? Are they having kids? Are they downsizing? That's what we try to preach here. Is it's about building a video message that's going to connect with that buyer or seller.
Yeah, I think you nailed it, because connection is everything. And the reality is, a lot of people are going to watch my videos and be like, I don't vibe with this guy. I don't like his energy. But the thing is, if those same people came to my open house, we may have a good conversation, but the same thing may happen, just because the reality is I can't help everyone. And, you know, my business partner, Sean, he'll attract clients that just, you know, won't want to work with me for one way or the other, and vice versa. So I'm not trying to have this shotgun approach. I used to think, oh, well, if I can just get the video out to everyone, then everyone will contact me. The thing is, I don't want to work with jerks, you know? I don't want to work with people that, you know, are going to beat me up on commission and do this and that. And the thing is, when I meet with these buyer consultations and listing presentations, they already know me. They already know my energy. They already know my mannerisms. And with video, they can see you, they can hear you, they can understand your cadence and what you're all about. And then when you meet with them in person, it's literally the same thing, except you're just in the room. So you've already broken down that one level of trust where they already trust you. So it's not about, you know, finding everyone. It's just about finding your tribe.
That's so true. What's that saying? People buy from people they like, trust, and know. So you hit on that with video to start that process and meet you in person. Done.
Yep. If you can solve the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, that FUD, it's a win-win. You're in.
Yeah, guys, I love video marketing, but you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it in terms of my production. Like some agents hide their production. I did about 5.5 million last year, which, you know, in this market, you know, you can trip and fall and do 9 million. So when it comes to video marketing, and by the way, I have about 5 million under contract like right now. So this year has been like insane so far.
Nice.
But I want to have that foundation because right now the market is so good that everyone is obviously getting their license. Anyone can be a real estate agent. That's awesome. I'm not doing it for this year. I'm doing it for the next couple of years. But what I'm getting at is agents are coming up to me like, all right, I want to start. I want to do 3 videos a week. I'm like, all right, before we dive in, call your sphere. Like hold quarterly events, like friends and family events, like have an email newsletter that goes out once a week, not once a month, like once a week. Everyone's like, oh, well, what's the shortcut? What's the shortcut? If you're looking for a shortcut, video marketing ain't it. The only reason I'm doing video marketing is to create relationships with potential consumers. But if you're not already creating relationships face-to-face through your networking, through your calling past clients, through your quarterly events that you're holding, well, video marketing is not really going to help you that much.
You're probably in the wrong business.
Definitely.
So true. That's good. And then in terms of, I think, what is a good video tactic that you can leave us with right now in terms of if you're an agent, you want to get started in video, what's a like maybe a 1, 2, 3? This is where you start.
Yeah, so I think whenever you're producing a video or any type of content, you have to think about the audience. So who are you trying to reach? And more specifically, what type of buyer is looking. So the video should be about the consumer and not about yourself. And what I mean by this is I've seen some listing videos where it's like listing presentation by John Smith, Realtor, Century 21. It's like, well, literally none of those keywords except maybe John Smith, Century 21, a consumer would be searching for. So we want to reverse engineer what a potential buyer or seller is looking for. And, you know, I love that consumers have so much information out there. And I want to hit on those keywords. So we got to think about the neighborhood, the condo association, the local area. So you can put out the greatest video, but if you label it, you know, video number 1 by Norman Kinsey, the only person that's watching it is going to be Norman Kinsey.
Yeah.
Totally true. Great tips.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. So as far as like, we know where you're at now, we know that you have some pretty large aspirations. Where do you see your business in the next 5 years?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I just started the whole mantra of I want to have the best listing videos in the world, because when you think about who's doing the best listing videos, who do you think of?
Ryan Serhant.
You think of Ryan Serhant, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be, if he's 1, I'm trying to be 1A. Like I literally think that my videos can be up there right alongside Ryan or above Ryan. And I love Ryan just like the rest of the world, but I'm trying to be better than that. Like I'm trying to raise the bar to a ridiculous level that when I go into these listing presentations, I break out my iPad and I say, listen, here's a video we did for your neighbor. you know, I don't usually show them the video, but I sometimes show them like a little teaser. And then I show them, listen, we marketed this video to 25,000 of your closest neighbors. You know, it had this many impressions, this many views on all social media networks, and we're going to do the same exact thing. Like, imagine if 30,000 people saw a video tour of your property that live, you know, in a 5-mile radius. I mean, when it comes down to it, there's no other agent that can match that marketing power. Like, what are you going to have, a slideshow? Like, that's not good enough anymore. So where do I see myself in 5 years? I mean, not only do I want to start having even better videos, but you know, I'm competitive, but I want everyone to win. Like, a lot of my content that I push out, I'm hopeful that other agents see that and a light goes off in their head and we start, you know, raising the bar. Because, you know, I don't know about in, where are you guys located again?
Bay Area.
Bay Area, California.
Yeah, I don't know about in San Francisco, but out here, there's still properties that they don't have professional photos. You know, there's going to be someone like taking a picture of a bathroom and like you see them in the photo. So that's just unacceptable, really, and especially in the Bay Area, which I consider like a premier real estate spot for luxury properties. So, I mean, if you want a specific answer, I think easily 50 million in sales for my team, which is me and Sean, and we just added one more agent, Miguel. To give you an idea, right now we're at about 24 mil.
Nice.
It's doable.
Yeah, definitely is doable as well. And yeah, I mean, I saw your videos, man. Your videos definitely are up there with Ryan's for sure. Love some of the videos that's already out there. Definitely going to link your information below. Definitely check out Matt's videos for sure. And actually, right next door to us, they sold their home literally on their cell phone. They took cell phone photos and put it on the MLS. And I'm just like, what is going on? Because we're going to be selling our house. And I'm like, that was a horrible, horrible way of representing that listing and that property. So yeah, even to go to California and San Francisco, you know, like 20 minutes away from Silicon Valley, we're still seeing it here. I think it's pretty transparent across the nation. So awesome. So before we wrap things up, we want to go ahead and ask you a couple last other questions. I know, Dan, you have one. You want to go ahead and ask them?
Yeah. I think I'm going to change it up a little bit today because you're focusing it on a different, you know, sector and sphere. In terms of video again, what would you say to an agent who just got started, like just licensed, just in the business, maybe has their license for like a week, and they don't have a sphere? They may have a sphere, the friends and family maybe, but what's that first video they shoot? The very first video.
Dang, that's a good question, Dan. Well, with a new agent, I think the first thing is, before video marketing, figure out who your customer avatar is, right? Like, who do you want watching that video? And, you know, I'm inclined to say like an introduction video, like who I am, what I do, but honestly, people aren't really going to care, because that's like about me. And that's like, hey, I'm me, I'm awesome, you should work with me. Me. I think it should be a video about your favorite place in your favorite town, like literally what you're passionate about. Because a lot of agents with their first video, they're so confident, and the second you press record, they're just like, they're like, what just happened here? Like, what just happened? So the first video ever, it should be about something you're genuinely excited about. Like, I've talked to some agents and they ask a similar question, like, what sort of content should I do? And I'm like, you know, who here likes dogs? And, you know, half the room raises their hands. Like, just start making videos walking your dog or at your dog park talking about the neighborhood. It doesn't have to be some fancy video with some DSLR or mirrorless camera. Mm-hmm. It can literally just be with your cell phone about something you're passionate about, and that's something that's true to you. It could be about real estate, or it could be like a parallel about real estate where it's a dog park, it's a restaurant, it's something around town that you really enjoy and that you want to share with others and you think others would enjoy as well.
Good advice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good way to put it. I like that a lot. And it's a good way too to be able to maybe throw in little hints about them, but make it about that restaurant or that park or whatever it is around their community or farm that they're going to be reaching out to. So that's a really good idea. So for a new agent getting into business, any books, any podcasts you would recommend that can help them?
Yeah, I'm actually rereading. I'm in the process of moving right now and setting up a new studio. I'm not going to show you over there because like my bed is literally right there. But during the moving process, I found a lot of old books that I read like 5 years ago, and honestly, I need a refresher on all of them. So I'm starting to reread them, and some of the ones that I'm getting into right now are by Dan Kennedy, who is a direct marketer, not in the real estate space. He's just a marketer, and I love real estate, books and podcasts and shows just as much as the next real estate agent. But what I've found is when I go outside of the industry and talk about something, again, that's like parallel to real estate, like direct marketing, I think that opens up my mind a little bit. So in terms of books, I would definitely check out Dan Kennedy. It's a lot of psychology about the consumer buying process.
Nice. Yep. That's awesome. Good recommendation. So at the part of the show now where we want to open the floor up to you. So is there anything that you would like to put out there for our listeners and our viewers to either help them or a plug or something you want to talk about that's going through your life? Subscribe to your YouTube channel. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, so grateful to be on your podcast, Norman. Awesome meeting you in San Francisco last month. I was thinking about what to do for this section, and I have a book that's more for consumers, first-time home buyers, things of that nature. But I don't really. This isn't me, trying to sell you something right now. I genuinely, if you're a real estate agent, I genuinely want to help you. So if there's anything I can do, if you're nervous about video, if you had some sort of question you wanted to bounce off me, I'm usually most active on Instagram. You can follow me at the Matt Leighton, or just drop me a line on YouTube. Hopefully I'm very easy to find if you search my name on YouTube. I answer all DMs on Instagram. So listen, if there's anything I can do to help your business, I'm happy to do that.
That's awesome. Well, Matt, thank you so much for being on the show. Dan, thank you for co-hosting. Thank you for our listeners and our viewers. And it's our intention for someone to take something from today's podcast, whether they're listening or watching, that they can apply for their business today. So until the next time, take care, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you found value and took something you can apply to your business today. Be sure to join our community on Facebook, Real Estate vs. Technology, all spelled out. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would appreciate it. It's Real Estate Tech. And of course, if you or someone else you know would like to be a part of our show, just go ahead and send us an email. It's reversetechtalk@gmail.com, and we'll see you next week.